I'm a long-term BMW 1200 GS owner with a confession. Just this past fall, my current GS, Gertie, and I traveled the length of the MA BDR and back, a journey of over 1,800 round trip. She traveled to California and back. Prior to her, I had a 2002 1150 GS, which I sold after 88,000 miles. I've been a BMW believer until recently. Let me explain. This spring I purchased a 2000 DRZ400s from a young man with his arm in a cast and his spirit with a lack of desire to ride on two wheels. She needed new handlebars, levers, foot pegs, and tires, but the price was right and I've always been a little small CC curious. I installed Pro Taper bars with pillow top grips and a 20mm riser, adding aftermarket larger foot pegs, new levers, mirrors, and traded out the broken down stock seat. Summer and fall riding the DRZ everywhere, both on and off-road. She proved a fun little bike to ride. The DRZ is reliable, easy to work on, and has a large aftermarket catalog available. Weighing in at around 320 pounds wet, it's much lighter than the GS. There's a segment of adventure riders moving toward utilizing the small engine dual sport bikes as the ultimate adventure ride, and this little DRZ turned my head and may have succeeded in seducing me to the dark side. So this past week, I've been receiving packages, making modifications, and installing parts, transforming the old girl from a traditional dual sport to a bike capable of some long-distance adventures. I had to address the areas the stock DRZ falls short. The bike only gets about 115 miles from the anemic stock 2.6 gallon tank. I installed an IMS 4-gallon tank, which will get the range up over 200 miles per fill-up. I've chosen the natural color. While not the most visual appealing, it does allow for an easy check of the fuel level. The tank is slim enough on the bike and hasn't impacted the rideability. Full, it's true it will add to the overall weight, but there's no rule that I need to fill it up all the way when trail riding with friends. The DRZ400s does have a good subframe which to use as a platform for luggage. I've chosen a rack-free soft bag solution from Kriega to keep the weight low. The Kriega OS base can accept multiple size bags, 10 liter, 12 liter, or 20 liter, to attach as side panniers. It carries any weight nice and low while keeping the bags tight against the frame. I've left one side luggage free so you can see the Kriega OS base, while the other side is currently sporting a 10-liter bag. The added top rack is flexible, accommodating everything from a large duffel to a tent or additional fuel in a rotopack, maybe even a milk crate. Most often for long weekend trips, 2 10-liter bags and a 20-liter up top will probably be more than enough gear capacity for my needs. The last piece of luggage is a waterproof Nelson Rig tank bag. It's small, but the perfect size for some documents, wallet, camera, phone, and a few snacks. It's also totally waterproof without having to deal with a separate cover. The final items to address with the DRZ is the electronics. I needed to be able to add a dedicated GPS and a few USB ports for charging camera batteries and phone. The DRZ is limited in cockpit real estate compared to my BMW GS, so creativity is required. I relocated the ignition out of sight. No reason to be looking at the key while going down the road. This allowed space to add a dual USB port which includes a digital voltage meter. Now not only do I have a couple USB ports for charging, but a way to monitor my battery. You can also see another switch mounted here which controls my radiator cooling fan. The DRZ has a spring-activated thermostat for turning the fan on, but seems to need to get extremely hot before activating. We have many hot days here in the south. Adding a manual override may help manage engine heat much better. The thermostat still works as normal, so no harm done in adding this modification. Spots remain for a few switches in case I decide to add auxiliary lighting or other accessories. The GPS is mounted using the existing brake fluid reservoir bolting, as handlebar space is at a premium. The long ram mount allows for easy viewing adjustment depending on if I'm standing or sitting. On paper, it seems a solid attempt at the creation of a lighter ADV bike. I'm looking forward to taking my newly reborn DRZ400s, newly christened Jessie, on moto adventures this year. Only time will tell if we can find our travel vibe together, and hopefully Gertie doesn't mind sharing the open road on occasion.